Magandang hapon mga batchmates at classmates. Mula pa rin sa College of Veterinary Medicine ang ating tampok na panauhin para sa hapong ito. Sabay-sabay po nating batiin ang ating featured guest para sa hapong ito, si Doc Caroline Benigno. Magandang hapon, Doc. Pwede po ba kayong bumati muna sa ating mga tagapanood?
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat, sa mga nanonood, nakikinig. Good afternoon also, Polly. Thank you for this invitation and I hope you're having all a safe, dry time there. Thank you.
Salamat po, Doc. Dahil dyan, umpisahan na po natin ang ating kwentuhan. Bakit niyo po ba kinuha ang inyong kurso? Meron po bang nag-impluwensya sa inyo?
I didn't even know there's veterinary medicine. Kasi fresh high school graduate, sabi natanggap ako sa UP. Ako naman, punta ako doon. During enrollment, syempre bagong salta ako. There were 30 slots for that course that I was supposed to take. Number 31 ako. Yung manning the registration was saying, you can just take the next block. And then sabi pa nila sa akin, you can just shift after first semester. So, nandun na. Ang block na yun, kumbaga tawag ng pre-vet. I was there, naging friends ko na sila. Parang nainganyan na rin ako. I didn't shift at all and just stayed on course. I took veterinary medicine hanggang sa tuloy-tuloy na veterinary medicine. And it's not because I was exposed to practice or what, but during that time, our family had a few chickens, ganun lang. Not really in my mind, but dun talaga sa exposure ko with that block, with my classmates, with the university.
I think talagang dun yung pupuntahan nyo talaga.
Parang tadhana.
Marami po talaga sa ating mga alums din na sa umpisa hindi nila alam ang gusto nila. Pero mukhang pagdating dito sa UPLB ay tumatatak na kung ano yung tadhana mo. So
Correct,
ngayon naman po, paano po ba nakatulong ang UP sa inyong napiling career?
Actually, when I started university, doon na nakatulong na yun talaga with talking to people, getting exposed to professors and all, doon nakatulong na talaga siya. As I went through the 6 years, bawat professor ang daming requirements na may deadline. Bawat professor yun. So ilang professors yung ma-handle ka. I think we learned to multitask and then to meet deadlines. Kasi I realized when I graduated, this is very important. You meet timelines, not only meeting timelines, but producing quality work. That was formation I had in UP. It really honed my work ethic. Even if there are so many requirements, you have to produce quality work and you have to meet timelines. And that was a work ethic that started in the university hanggang sa nagtrabaho na ako. And doing this, I gained confidence kasi ay kaya ko pala. Yung ganon. University pa lang yun. So I gained confidence. Dala-dala ko yun hanggang mag-graduate ako. I guess the environment in UP was not only nurturing but enabling. Professors allow you to speak up. If you want to challenge the views of you can without fear of naku, makababaan yung grade. Hindi eh. Parang they encourage you to do that. Dala-dala ko yun hanggang nagtrabaho na ako.
Para po ba sa inyo, ano po ba yung mga characteristics ng isang tatak UP?
I think we can innovate given whatever resources we have. Kasi nga, university pa lang you were exposed to different views tapos teaching approaches. So we can innovate whatever we have. Na-develop sa atin yung critical thinking. We can assess work that is presented to us. Kunyari, na-request ka to review a certain paper or what. They can critique very well. Even conduct additional research kung tama ba itong ginagawa. And then, eager sila to share that learning to the college, to the university, and even to the fellow vets. We can multitask, we can meet deadlines, we produce quality work. We've developed critical thinking. Nandun yung fire to learn, yung heart to learn, and then bring it back and share.
Can you briefly share your career journey with us?
So ngayon talaga, I'm retired from structured work but doing consultancy. I started as a very new vet on a daily paid basis. Ang sweldo ko noon is enough for 2 movies. I had to do other work. Nag-extra ako sa mga small animal clinic. Tumutulong ako sa uncle ko noon na may farm. Yun yung stage na you're still searching. Then, nung nasa BAI, I was given a position. Thankful naman, parang naging permanent ako and slowly I was given additional responsibilities. Kasi nung pumasok talaga, I didn't want to be like yung everyday report. I wanted to do something. I wanted to contribute to the livestock industry. And at some point, taga-collect lang ako ng data nun, ng disease. Hanggang sa nagkaroon ng foot and mouth disease. And sabi ng director ko, sige, handle mo na yun. So I was designated chair of the National FMD Task Force. That was a career-defining moment because I really focused on controlling the outbreaks. We had zones declared free from foot and mouth disease, and this was recognized by the international organization. I spent from 94 to 2003. I was working with foot and mouth disease until I was invited to apply for the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations regional office in Bangkok, Thailand. At that time, I thought I needed to network to really complete the FMD eradication program kasi the goal was to eradicate foot and mouth disease. While we were successful already in Visayas, Mindanao, we still had some pockets of outbreaks in Luzon. And I was running out of ideas, and then this came an invitation to apply. I applied, so I had to leave BAI in 2003, and I resumed the post of Animal Health Officer for Asia and the Pacific from 2003 to 2018. Ang hawak ko nun was Asia Pacific countries, and the Philippines was included. So noong time na yun, so I was able to network. Siyempre, I cannot really advocate for Philippines lang. But I was able to network with experts, with international organizations, and yun, nag-pour in ng assistance sa Philippines until it was declared as an FMD-free country without vaccination in 2005. We are still free, and I hope we remain free, but there's a lot of work to do to maintain that. So yun yung trajectory. But while I was with the FAO, I was also going home sa Philippines. Ginather ko yung mga nag-postgrad na mga vets, and we developed this AVET, the Applied Veterinary Epidemiology Training Course. Kami-kami na lang kasi sabi ko, mas mura kung tayo-tayo lang kaysa magkuha ka ng consultant na babayaran. So kami, dinevelop namin yon. And then later, while talking to the former dean of the college, kasi we were concerned about sustainability, how to sustain this course. Ang suggestion ng dean dati, why not put up a postgrad degree in UPCVM? And so we did. That was the Master of Vet Epi. Hindi lang trainings, pwedeng nang may degree. And then marami na naging graduates ng AVET. Itong mga AVET graduates, sabi nila, why don't we form a specialty college? It's like the human med counterpart, no? Sabi ko, sige, pero naku, ang hirap niyan. But we did. We were able to do that. So I was the founder and first president of the Philippine College of Veterinary Epidemiologists. It's really to encourage new graduates to continue learning. And dahil marami sa amin na nag-postgrad, nag-work na, it's to share also what we've learned. This is registered. It's recognized by the Philippine Veterinary Medical Association. It's SEC registered. So we continue to conduct courses. And then I retired formally in 2018. Now I see myself doing even pro bono work, even sa UPCVM. Kung nag-i-invite, I make it a point to go there, impart my knowledge. When there's a request to review papers or policies, I do it. Parang giving back to the community. My career is not the typical, I go to small animal clinic and all. I turn this as development work. Those who go into government or into international work, I call this development work. It's really upgrading the status of a community or elevating the status of the community, elevating the lives of people. So I call this development work, and it has been recognized even by the Philippine Veterinary Medical Association that it is one branch or one sector of veterinary medicine that you can specialize in.
Very inspiring. Thank you po for sharing that, and congratulations dito sa inyong ginawa. And I hope talagang mas marami pa kayong mold ng mga younger generations ng veterinary medicines, kasi yun naman talaga yung aim natin, sustainability at saka yung patuloy na naglo-learn. At the same time, tingin ko ang mga tatak UP talaga, kasi kahit hanggang sa huling hininga, kung kaya pang mag-contribute para sa bayan, tutulong in whatever way that they can. Tama po, no, Doc?
Oo nga, totoo.
So ngayon naman, Doc, ano po yung insights na pwede nyo i-impart regarding your experience on strengthening veterinary epidemiology and One Health dito sa Pilipinas?
Kaya nga ako bumabalik din sa college, tsaka nagtuturo din sa mga young vets, is to let them see na vet epidemiology is a very important subject when you do disease control work. Kaya I mentor young vets. And epidemiology, isa yan sa core competency required na World Organization on Animal Health, na upon graduation, you're very skilled on applying the principles of vet epi. Marami pa siyang mga subtopics under vet epi. It's a very interesting subject. It's something you can really apply sa field. And my dream is to bring that back to the university, where they allow the students to investigate disease in the field. Hindi lang tayo sa classroom, to get exposed to how we can apply these vet epi principles in real life. Kasi minsan nag-uusap-usap kaming mga epi, how it was nung college namin. And sabi ko, di ko nga akalain maging epidemiologist ako eh. Kasi nga, it's just a subject. But then, nung nasa field ka na, shucks, ang galing, ma-apply mo talaga siya. So that's something, I guess it's a big dream to bring that back to the college and expose the students to apply vet epidemiology. It helps in other disciplines. When you have this, even if you're in small animal or food animal, it cuts across other practices. On One Health, dahil sa dami ng sakit, every year, dumadami. At tapos may zoonosis, yung natatransmit sa humans, I learned that there's also an epidemiology on the human side. So we were able to discuss, and the principles are the same. Iba lang yung aming subject. But then as we work together, we can actually link our work together and discuss how to really approach a disease problem. So yun yung naging advantage nung when we say One Health. Nag-mature na siya to that both professions agree that we need to collaborate, sit down and discuss how can we approach this problem.
Pag estudyante ka talaga, hindi mo pa nakikita talaga yung essence or value value ng mga natutunan mo. Once na nandun ka na talaga sa trabaho mo, saka mo siya may isip na, ay, oo nga pala, no? Very important itong lahat ng pinag-aralan natin before. Thank you for reminding us that. So, ngayon naman po, Doc, any words of wisdom for our bagong scholar ng bayan?
Sa bagong scholar, you will be overwhelmed. Yun yung ano ko nun eh. I was so overwhelmed with all this information that's coming in. Pero hindi siya masasayang. All the information from the classroom, yung external environment, symposia, fora, ganyan. For a freshman, overwhelming siya. Parang masyashock ka talaga. But then, just absorb it, everything. Hindi siya masasayang. Pag na-absorb mo lahat siya, at some point, ma-integrate mo siya eh. Yung madidevelop ka talaga as a person. It's alright to be overwhelmed, but to absorb everything, and at some point, ma-realize mo, ay, okay, hindi siya sayang. Even pagdating mo na, yung malapit ka na mag-graduate o pag nag-work ka na, na-realize mo ngayon na, hindi sayang pala lahat yon. It will be part of you and you'll be able to gain confidence that you need, able to produce quality work, you'll develop a good work ethic. Attention to details, I think tatak Yuki talaga. So, nadidevelop yun sa'yo. And lastly, do network. Even yung mga classmates mo, don't lose touch. Eh, kasi pag nag-work ka, mamimit mo rin sila eh. Huwag ka lang dun sa circle mo, talk to the others. And I also wish you an enjoyable time at the university. Learning should be fun. I hope you have a good stay at the university, just as I had.
Kailan ba kayo huling nakabisita dito sa university?
We renovated the epidemiology classroom sa CVM last year. We wanted the room to be conducive for learning. I hope it inspires the students to treat epidemiology as a very interesting subject. Complete yun with hardware, with computers and all. That was last year with Dean Estacio.
Baka gusto niyo pong i-shout out po yung PCVE.
I think they know, may process naman to be a member. Approach nyo lang ako or any of the officers. In the vet circle kasi nakakausap-usap naman yan.
Thank you po for always pushing our future generations na continuously learn, lalo na sa inyong field. Very important yun. So maraming salamat na nandyan po kayo na handang mag-mentor at mag-guide sa ating younger generations.